You have an idea. You want to tell it to the world, but you don't know where to start. That's where Anchor comes in. They have the tools for you to edit, produce, and record your idea right from your phone or computer. It's the easiest way to reach and grow your audience. They publish for you to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. And to top it all off, they match you with advertisers so you can earn from your passion and your wonderful idea. So tell me, what are you waiting for? Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started and follow your dream. Welcome to the last episode of Disruptive Adventism in 2018. It is the last day of the year, and I really just want to wish you a happy new year. I'm going to be on my own today. Our co-hosts are very busy. Macy, she just got married a couple of weeks ago, so she's moving and doing all of that good stuff, enjoying her honeymoon and, relocating to the Pacific Northwest. Caitlin is planning a conference that's starting a couple of days from now with a Campbell Con. If you remember her talking about her involvement with a Campbell Con, a Campbell Consultant, that is, and, they have a conference, a gaming conference. So they are a little bit busy. And of course, it's the end of the year, so they're taking a little bit of time off, but they are coming back next year with a couple of series, a couple of things that will be, of interest to you. But I just want to thank you for the time that you have taken to listen to this podcast. It's been amazing. It's been great. It's been a blessing. Every single download. As of today, we have 47,500 downloads as, the time that I'm recording this episode. And I'm really humbled because it's a lot of people downloading, listening, and just giving us feedback. And that's just amazing to me because it makes me feel like there's a community out there that wants to listen to what we're putting out, but also a community that wants to engage. And I just want to thank you for listening, engaging, and pushing the conversation forward. Any conversation that we have had, from topics that are super Adventist and super controversial, like the, general conference, meetings this year, to, other topics that are also important, but that may not be super controversial, like just talking about culture, just talking about youth culture, just talking about Pathfinders, different podcasts that we have had throughout this year. But I just want to kind of reflect upon the journey. We started in August and it's December now, and we have a team now. I started by myself and now we have a team, and it's just great to see how things have changed, how things have morphed. And I'm really in awe of just how God has, done his thing. And I'm just really excited for next year. A couple of my favorite series, Law and Order, or just shooting the couple of the interviews that we haven't even released, and that are coming up now in 2019. And I'm just, completely dumbstruck as to how things have grown. The team has grown. Our support has grown on Patreon and on other platforms as well. Just people coming up to us and saying, hey, we really enjoy the podcast. Keep doing it. It's been great. And I just want to appreciate that for everyone that, is listening. I really, really want you to know that your support matters. If it's through, just a word or just suggesting topics for us to explore, it's been great. So I just want to thank you for listening to this podcast and for making it what it is, a platform for people to just express their views and, whatever they want to say about Adventism and, disruptive, just change the fabric. And that's what we're about here. And, we just want to appreciate that. It's going to be short. I'm not going to be talking forever. So I just want to share with you a couple of the things that are coming up this next year and to Disruptive Adventism. So one of them is we're going to continue with series, but it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about different topics. We are trying to start a very unique environment coming up this next year. We want to do a couple of extra stories. So we're going to be matching and, doing recordings for series interviews, our regular kind of thing. But we're also looking to expand into telling people stories, So if you have a story that you want to share, just about being Adventist or just about being a human, just what you go through life and how people can support you or how people can, encourage you in your journey, please make sure to reach out on our social media. We're always there. So, if you want to be on the podcast, go ahead. We're also trying to start a couple of different things. We're going to be doing a web series, YouTube series, probably like once or twice a month on different topics. We're going to be putting some research into it and preparing like a talk. We haven't decided how the format is going to be, so we're going to be trying things out. And of course, our patrons get exclusive access to that. They will get exclusive access to the making the series, and like the behind the scenes and all of that. So if you want to collaborate and you want to definitely put your input into the things that we're going to, put out there, please make sure to go to Patreon and contribute. I don't say that, just to be like, oh yeah, it's an extra dollar that we get or whatever. But we really want to take our patrons seriously. And honestly, I'm just going to say it. I'm really thankful for all the patrons. We have 13 patrons right now, 13 people that are collaborating financially. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. It's been great. It's honestly, you guys are great. The feedback that you guys provide outside of the podcast, outside of, just life. And it's just great. I just want to thank every single one of you. It'll be a long list and I haven't asked for your permission to release your names. So I'm not going to do that, but maybe in the future, I'll see if you guys want to be mentioned in the podcast and, if you guys are okay with that. But it's been amazing. Thank you very much for your contributions. You really, really helped this podcast come to life and to keep it going, keep the resources flowing into creative avenues. Another thing that we're starting this next year is our blog, so we have a blog right now, but it's not, super consistent, but we're going to try to make it consistent. One thing that I want to encourage you who are listening, and, if you want to kind of, put your word out there, it doesn't have to be like strictly controversial, theological. It can be just your story or a story that you want to share, something, some lesson that you learn in life or anything. We are paying bloggers. So if you want to be featured on the blog, on the Disruptive Blog, just email us a copy of whatever you want to publish and we'll pay you for it. So that's a great opportunity for you. We're trying to give back as well. So the community is giving back to us. So we're trying to give back to the community that's supporting us. So if you want to get paid for the things that you write, or maybe if you want to be featured or if you want to, do whatever, just reach out to us. And, there are some avenues in which we can remunerate and give back to you. So that's another project that we're kind of hoping to start. And I guess like one of the biggest things for next year is that we're going to try to expand as much as we can our Spanish podcast. So we are actively looking for people to, join this podcast. Like, if you're kind of like, if you've been listening to the interviews and you're like, man, that's something that I really want to do. We're trying to add one more co-host because I'm trying to stay focused on the Spanish podcast. I think it's a need that the Spanish community has. There's not a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of sermons, a lot of churches that just do, they publish their pastor sermons, but there's very few that publish in Spanish. So if you're a Spanish speaking person and you want to kind of get involved, or even Portuguese or maybe another language, we want to take this to the world. English is a great language. I love it. It's a great method. It reaches the most people, but some people will never listen to our podcast in English. So we're trying to take it into other languages as well. That's our biggest project for next year. So we're looking for people actively. And again, you'll get paid, you'll get equipment, you'll get the stuff, you'll get some coaching as to how to do different things. So if that's something that interests you, hey, reach out to us again. We're trying to start disrupting Adventism, but not only in North America. We want to take it, to the ends of the world. And everywhere that we can. We're just trying. So if you want to write in Spanish, or you want to write in, another language, or if you know somebody from another country, that wants to start something like this, and kind of be under the Disruptive Adventism banner, hey, that's something great. One last thing, again, trying to get back to the community, is if you have a podcast of your own and you want to be sponsored by Disruptive Adventism, we're trying to do sponsorships now. So we're trying to sponsor you with a couple of dollars. It's not a lot, but it may help you, it may incentivize you to continue. So we are trying to do that. We have a couple of podcasts that will be sponsoring this next year. But if you have a podcast and you want to be sponsored, just come to us. Again, reach us. Instagram, Facebook, email. You have disruptiveadventism@gmail.com. So that's another avenue for you to, kind of, again, get something for the things that you're doing. We want the creative space of Adventism to expand. And money is not a problem. Okay, I'm not saying that we're not rich, but what I'm saying is, like, we're going to contribute to you, contribute to the things that you're doing if you want to take it seriously, if you want to take it and move it to the next level. So we're looking to contribute in that way. If that's something that you're interested, again, blogs, videos, maybe even starting your own podcast or being under the Disruptive Adventism, maybe in another language. If that's something that you're interested into, come ahead. We have some funding to kind of do that. So make sure to, reach out to us. I think that's it for today. I think, that kind of sums everything that we're kind of trying to do. And I really appreciate you for listening to this podcast. It's about 11 minutes right now. And, if you want to get involved, just make sure to reach out to us. We have tips. We have things that we have learned, mistakes that we have made that we don't want anyone else to make when it comes to starting their own thing. So just make sure to reach out. We're always available on, our accounts or our email, on everything. Just make sure to reach out and look out for new content. We have coming up. The next series is going to be, the next episode is going to be on New Year's resolutions and health. We're going to be releasing that very soon. And then after that, we have a couple of series like sexuality. We have a series on Black History Month for February. And we have a couple of other things. Just tune in into the podcast and make sure to share it, to review it. And if you want to collaborate, make sure to, financially that is, make sure to go to patreon.com/disruptiveadventism. Every dollar helps, and every dollar that, you put into us, we're trying to get back. So thank you for just being here with us, and Happy New Year. I hope that you enjoy it with your family, with your friends, and that you start disrupting this 2019. So thank you for listening. We hope you join us next time. And as always, we invite you to be disruptive.